For my next trick, I will show you 3 card moves, or actually card controls, that I use a lot in my own performances, and I'm pretty sure you will use them too. Now, the controls or the moves are called the table cut control, the double undercut, and the Braue Reversal. I'm pretty sure most of you know how to perform them, but just in case for people who don't know how to perform them, you will learn them right now, and even if you know them, I would really recommend you to watch this video, the explanations, because I'm pretty sure that you will hear a tip from me that will make your performance much easier, hopefully. And now let's get started with the first one, the table cut control. So here's the table cut control. For this trick, actually, I need the spectator to pick a card. In this case, let's say the spectator wants the 9 of hearts. Please memorize the card so I can just cut it a little bit deeper into the pack. And this should cause the 9 of hearts to jump to the top. So here is the explanation for the table cut control. Now for this control, I prefer the spectator to have a card selected from the bottom third of the pack. In this case, I put the red card in the bottom third of the pack since I want you to follow me easier. And I'm going to tell you the reason why you need the selection from the bottom third in a second. However, to have a card selected from the bottom third of the pack, you spread through the cards quickly until you have the feeling that you reach to the bottom third, then you get slower and you need the spectator to touch one of those cards. In this case, let's say he wants the king of this red card here. Of course, in a real performance, it would be green. However, to show the card, you can outjog and turn over your wrist to show it, or you use the remaining cards to turn over the selection and show the king of diamonds. Once it gets memorized, you turn it over back, okay, so it's in the same position. And to square up the cards, you secretly place your pinky on top of it. So you have here a pinky break, okay? It doesn't have to be that big, okay? You should just be able to see your own break. So you're here, and you have now the pinky break. Now, to control the card to the top, you have to take about half of the cards above the break, place them on the table, then you take the remaining cards above the break, drop them on top. Okay, in this case I just leave them side jogged here because I'm going to tell you something. And then you take the remaining cards in your hands and place them on top too. Now here's the reason why you need a card selected from the bottom third of the pack. If you have a card selected from the bottom third of the pack, you will have here 3 piles that are almost the same size. Okay? Because if you would have a card selected from, let's say, the top third of the pack, you would be in this position. You would take about half of the cards from the top pack, then these cards, and then you would have to place all of those cards on top of it. And in my opinion, this kind of looks suspicious because you place small packets, then another small pack, and then a lot of cards on top. And that's the reason why I prefer to have a card selected from the bottom third of the pack. Because if you do it now, you have the opportunity to have 3 almost the same size packets. Okay? And of course, you would be here with the king of diamonds, the selection on top. Now, let's say the spectator picks a card from the top third of the pack. Okay, so you're here, and as you're spreading quickly, he says, no, I want one of those cards on top. Then you would take it, and you would take it out. Okay, so it's not in the same position. You would turn it around, place it on top of the pack. Then cards, the bottom third of the cards, okay, a few cards from the bottom. Okay, maybe, I don't know, 15 cards. And then place the king of diamonds facing down right here and catch a break. Now it is again in the bottom third, and you do the same thing again to control it to the top. And this is basically the table cut control. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope I could give you some tips for it. And now let's see the double undercut. So here's the double undercut. Please select any card you wish. In this case, let's pretend this pack here wants the 9 of diamonds, which gets returned into the pack, and maybe we could cut it a little bit deeper into the deck. And this should cause the card to jump to the top, the 9 of diamonds. So here's the explanation for the double undercut. Now for this one, the spectator can choose any cut here she wants to. It can be in the middle, in the top third, or in the bottom third, because you're going to take it out. Okay, and of course I'm using a red cut here so you can follow me easier again. Once the cut is selected, you take it out, show it to the spectator, and as you're showing it to the spectator, I prefer to use my thumb to cut about the top third of the cut, because the king of diamonds is going to get replaced right here. So in the table cut control, it will be replaced in the bottom third, and in the double undercut, I prefer to replace it in the top third of the pack. Okay, so you're here, you use your thumb to cut about a third of the cuts from the top. Okay, it's kind of a Charlier cut position. And then you take the king of diamonds and place it into the gap. And don't push it in, you want to leave it here in joke. Now you can show it to the spectator one more time, and as you're pushing it into the pack, you use your thumb to press on it. So when it goes into the pack, there is a gap. Okay? And then you can place your pinky inside this gap. It is very easy to do, and now you have the pinky break. Now you have to transfer the pinky break to a thumb break. So you would be here, then you go with your thumb, and you still maintain the gap between the top third over here and the other cuts. Now you take about half of the cuts underneath the break and place them to the top, and then take the remaining cuts underneath the break and move them to the top too. And of course, this is gonna control the king of diamonds, the red cut in this case, to the top of the pack. So one more time, you have a cut selected, you take it out, show it to the spectator, use your thumb to cut about the top third of the pack. It can be 15 cuts up to 15 cuts. I think that's a good number of cuts. However, you have here the top third lifted with your thumb, and now you replace the king of diamonds into the gap, press on it as you place it in. Okay, so now that you have here a gap, place your pinky in it, so you have here now the pinky break. Okay, and of course now you can talk to the spectator a little bit, and when you're ready to perform it, the double undercut, you transfer it to thumb break. Cut about half of the cuts from the bottom here, okay, and then take the remaining cuts underneath the break and move them to the top too. And now you're ready to go on with the trick, because the cut is controlled to the top. So that's a double undercut. I hope you enjoyed it. And now let's see the explanation and the performance for the Braue Reversal. So here's the last move, the Braue Reversal. Now you use this move to make the top cut, in this case the king of hearts, turn over without the spectator seeing it. And it looks something like this. You turn over all the cards to show that there is nothing special. And in this case, the selection is facing down underneath the pack, the king of hearts. So here's the explanation for the Braue Reversal. Now you have the cut you want to turn over on top of the pack, and of course you can use the double undercut or the table cut control to control it to the top. However, once you have the selection on top of the pack, you're ready to perform the Braue Reversal. Now you have to catch a front break underneath the top cut over here. To make this happen, it is very easy. You just use your thumb to lift up the cut a little bit, and then just hold the cut separated from the rest of the pack using your thumb. Okay, this is a thumb break. Now, you take about half of the cut using your other hand. Okay, cut them, and you turn them around as you place them to the top of the pack. Now, I prefer to come with my other hand and place my pinky into the thumb break, because it is now easier for me to square up the cards. And once I'm here, I quickly transfer the break back to a thumb break and do the same thing with the rest of the cards underneath the break. And this is going to cause the selection to stay facing down underneath all of these facing up cards. So one more time, you're here, catch a thumb break, take about half of the cards here, turn them around, and as you square up these cards, you place your pinky into the gap, Okay, so it's easier for you to square up the cut. And quickly transfer it back to your front brake and do the same thing with the remaining cuts underneath the brake. And this is going to cause it to stay facing down underneath the peg. And if you do it quick enough, it looks something like this. You have the brake, pinky, and then it back to your front brake. Okay, so the only thing that you have to practice is to transfer the pinky brake back to your front brake, but it looks hard. It is very simple to do, and this is called the Braue Reversal. So that was basically the video. I hope you enjoyed it. And it is the first time I teach you 3 moves in just one video, so please tell me in the comment section below. If you liked it, you can give the video a thumbs up. And one more thing that I want to tell you is whenever I perform one of those moves I teach you before in my other videos, I'm going to send you back to these videos to learn them, because I don't want to teach these moves over and over again. So one video is enough to teach you those moves. So that was the video again. I thank you for watching it. And that's it. I'll see you next time.